If baby fever is hitting you because of the new chikaw baby wave online, how about following some of these wise words before diving into such a big responsibility?
Or maybe get a dog first to practice.
Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Rosmo, and this video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Go. You thought they're gone, but I'll put them a little later in the video. You're not safe from them anymore. Anyway, someone in my Toxic Moms video brought this up and I thought it would be fun to talk about and address, especially with some things hitting headline.
Maraming fur parent pati ang grupo ng mga animal lovers ang naniniwalang hindi dapat ginagamit sa hayop ang gamit na pambata. Nagugat yan sa isang litrato noong 2021 na biglang muling nag-viral ngayon. Nasa frontline na balitang yan si Faith Del Mundo.
Viral ngayon sa social media ang post na ito kung saan kita ang fur parents na ginamit ang diaper changing station na pang baby para sa kanilang aso.
As you can see in the video, a couple decided to use the baby changing station in the women's restroom for their dog. Now, this isn't my usual content, but I decided I wanted to talk about this because this is a great chance to also talk about my dogs. Anyway, do I consider myself a fur parent? I mean, I've never thought about it that way, but I have two dogs, Lucy and Lupin, so I guess. If someone asks me though, I just say yeah, even though in my mind, I just think pet owner. But it's just words, so I don't really care what I'm called. My dogs are part of the family. They're not just guard dogs, by the way, so you know they're standing in the family tree. Yeah, right. Just like that. What's this little guy gonna guard? Bitch can't even guard his own food bowl. Lucy keeps stealing his food if we don't keep an eye on her. It's great taking care of pets. They're like a part of the family, and majority of pet owners are pretty chill. They know where not to bring their pets and how to train them to behave. But then there's that percent that falls into the irresponsible area here.
Pero base sa ating research, kasagsagan pa pala ng pandemic noong 2021 ang litratong yan. Kuha sa isang mall sa Pampanga na nagbawal na rin ngayon na gamitin sa hayop ang mga diaper changing station bagamat nananatili silang pet-friendly mall.
It's clear as day. These people use the baby changing station on their dog instead of putting it down on the floor to change their diaper. Maybe their dog is godly and shouldn't be touching the floor lest we have the second coming raining down upon us. I mean, I'm kidding. But to add to this confusing, if not kind of worrying scenario health-wise with future babies being put on that station, is that the video has only caught people's attention recently. But it happened in 2021, where everyone was trying to be as hygienic as they can be because COVID-19 was still kind of a threat, albeit a bit less strict than 2019 or 2020. And I don't know about you guys, but that does not look like a baby to me. If that dog is even remotely 1 year or older, that's a grown-ass adult. I make this joke multiple times in my house because I've trained Lupin to be comfortable in a princess or baby type of carry, and he's 2 years old. And every time I do that, I would turn to my brother and say, bro, look at this little guy. Look at this little cutie patootie. Grown-ass man. That's a grown-ass man right here. And I like this news outlet specifically because at the start they mentioned that a lot of fur parents and animal lovers themselves don't approve of this. Some media outlets didn't really mention that part, and I feel like it's important to make that clear distinction between fur parents, pet owners, whatever you want to call them, and irresponsible pet owners. Because fur parents call themselves fur parents because they know their baby is covered in fur. It's not an actual human baby. It's a cat or a dog or some other animal that isn't a human being. Fur parents have a living creature to take care of. It solely relies on them to be fed and clean up after themselves, similar to a baby, but not heavy of a responsibility, but a responsibility nonetheless.
Ang Philippine Animal Welfare Society o PAWS naman na nagsusulong at nangangalaga ng karapatan ng mga hayop, aminadong maling gamitin sa pet ang gamit na pang human baby.
Over the top talaga yung gagamitin mo pa yung facilities for human baby. Let's be mindful of other people who may not like pets. We can share the spaces with them, but certainly not to a point where it will imperil children or yung mga babies. They need clean or hygienic spaces.
I didn't translate the text on that part, but it was a bunch of posts, I assume Reddit, where animal lovers alike are ranting about irresponsible pet owners, where one is on a grocery basket, yikes, then the other one is like those owners who don't keep distance with other pets, which cause both animals to fight, and there was even one that was censored, which I can assume is graphic content. Before I talk about this and show more of this news report, let's take a break with Tokyo Treat and Sakura Go. Pause! Look at Kuromi. She's gonna be in here, okay? Isn't she cute? Tokyo Treat and Sakura Go are subscription boxes that
that send exclusive Japanese snacks right to your door. And this October, Tokyo Treat is celebrating Halloween with Snacktacular Halloween, while on the other hand, Sakurako is gifting us with the season of autumn. The Snacktacular Halloween box has snacks like the apple pie Kit Kat, Creep and Crispy corn bites, Goalicious garlic chips, and a bunch more. I snacked on the mystery marshmallow and Boo Berry bites. Spoilers, but the mystery flavor is grape. And I don't like grape, but I like marshmallow, so I like this one. And the Boo Berry bites is good too because it's just blueberry cheesecake smushed into a biscuit. Over on Sakurako, we got snacks like the walnut mochi, Nico Yuba chips, sweet potato yokan that all pairs nicely with the autumn sencha to give the sweet fall season harmony. And in the box, I also got the Neko Furoshiki that was made to bring you good fortune and prosperity. Kuromi's at the end of the magazine, by the way, a prize for a giveaway they do when you take a picture with your box. I had to mention that just in case you guys were waiting for Kuromi. And of course, I still can't read Japanese, so we got these magazines that explain the snacks inside along with the ingredients and allergens. If you'd like to get a box for yourself, you can use my promo code ROSMO to get $5 off of your first purchase. Thank you again, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako, for sponsoring this video. Now let's go back.
Now, if you think of irresponsible pet owners, you'd instantly think of people who neglect their dogs to the point that they get really sick, stick thin, starving, or physically hurt them. And I've seen that before. Small tangent, but when I was a kid, we had a house in front of ours. They had a guard dog, and the old lady living there would hit her dogs, sometimes with a thick stick. And I hear you. It's horrible. It's a living being tied in a short chain to their window in a cramped cage where they fight over food because dogs are naturally territorial. They would fight and she would hit them when they do, and this habit even got passed down to her grandchildren. It's tragic. I don't live there anymore, but it is a good example of what I've seen personally for irresponsible pet owners on each side of the spectrum. Those with the heavy hand that uses violence to discipline their pets, or at least what they see it to be because it's objectively abuse, not to use the word lightly. And then the other side where they have the lightest hand on their pet to the point that they infantilize them and harming those around. I'll bet it's not as bad as the other side, but some people find it annoying or slightly concerning, like bringing your pets in places they're not allowed in. Like, I don't know, a baby changing station. Just spitballing here just on the top of my head. Bato-bato sa langit. Fun fact is I want to talk about my dog. I got Lupin, my Shih Tzu, from a friend and got to take him home when he was just 3 months old. So I thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun if I trained him to lie down like Paningning? And for those who don't know, Paningning is a Shih Tzu and she lies down like this. Just this. And all her siblings lie down normally, but she's this. Just this. And I found out while making this video that Paningning is from the Philippines? Hello? Kababayan ko pala to eh! Sabi nila taga San Pablo City. So I did it, but he just ends up looking like this. That's all I wanted to say about Lupin. But I got a little bit sidetracked. Going back to the video, I don't know if you noticed, but the dude is in the women's restroom. We're not just gonna brush over that. If this was a real baby and mama needed a little help changing, go ahead. I have no problem with this dude in the women's restroom if it's for a reasonable reason, such as changing a diaper. But this is a dog! I think mama can change the diaper for herself. Better yet, outside the restroom where he can join too. I don't think anybody is gonna cry over seeing a dog's dingling out in the mall if their diaper needs to be changed, because there are some malls that require pets to have diapers on if they want to keep them in the mall, you know, for cleanliness sake. I don't hate fur parents, and I hope this video doesn't attract those who detest people who own pets. If they want to take care of a pet, let them. I mean, look at this little cutie patootie. Look at him, look at him. He doesn't like me. But he's so cute. Just because they are taking care of a pet doesn't mean they are replacing it for a baby in their lives. That assumption is heavy when it comes to a couple owning a pet together.
Hindi naman na raw kailangan ng changing station na pang-alagang hayop. Agree naman dito ang fur dad na si Eman Valdez. Madali lang naman daw palitan ng diaper ang kanyang Shih Tzu na si Twixie.
Love ko itong aso ko pero hindi ko siya... Iba pa rin ang baby, sensitive skin. So, we're having a baby na rin ng wife, so hindi ko rin siya gustong madikit. Especially yan nga, diaper station eh. Kaya nga tinawag na baby diaper station.
Even the dog in the background was agreeing. I'm not a dog whisperer, but I'm hearing a lot of, you tell him, a preach, amen, from that dog. But that's just my personal translation. But this man is a fur dad and is going to be an actual dad because they have a baby coming, and he says it himself. Baby's skin is sensitive and it would be horrible if the baby had an allergic reaction to the dog's fur too. Luckily, nothing of the sort happened.
As a pediatrician, hindi ako papayag kasi yung aso baka may mga kuto yon, may mga virus o mga kung ano mang meron ng aso, baka magkaroon yung bata. May mga bata na talagang naghihika sa balahibo ng aso. O kaya naghihika lang sa amoy lang ng aso.
Payo pa ni Doc sa mga magulang, manatiling hiwalay ang lugar ng mga fur baby sa mga human baby.
This was covered in the local news in my country, and it would call more attention to, I guess it just boils down to etiquette and respect within the general public. Like, be mindful of what you use and who should be using it, because this isn't really a common thing. If anything, this couple was the only one to do that sort of thing, because a lot of malls here have a lot of processes before you can bring your pet to the mall, and if you get through the tedious process, they're most likely responsible enough to do that. It's a one-time thing, but it is an interesting story. Anyway, I hope you like this yap session. I don't know what to call these kinds of videos, but I did just want to talk about and bring this up because look at my dogs. Just look at them. Look at them. They're so cute. Anyway, big thanks to my patrons. Similar Sound, Kuya Daniel, Stale Toaster, Orda Star, Conjure, Anayushi, Gungelian, Jokerzat, Mila, Jacob K, Mindhack, Quasar, Kyle Chua, Scar Aidenham, Christian V, Kieran, and The Land of Dreams.